Hello, my name is Rachel, and today we are going to be talking a little bit about what employers are really looking for in graduates. Now, there's a lot of information and advice out there about what employers want in graduates, and it can be really confusing sometimes to know where to start, what to maybe include in your applications. So this short video will hopefully give you a bit of an outline of some of the key things to include. So to start off with, employers really look for those core employability skills. So sometimes they might be referred to as transferable skills or soft skills, and they can include things like communication, teamwork, problem solving, quite an extensive list. And you often might see them mentioned on the job advert as well, under the person specification, where they might detail some of the skills that they're looking for. Now, it's not only the skills that you need to be able to talk about, but it's also the examples. So employers want you to be able to reinforce that you've got those skills and give examples wherever possible. So it's not just good enough to say that you've got teamwork skills. You need to be able to talk about why you've got teamwork skills. And you can draw upon lots of different experiences that you've had. And that's the beauty of transferable skills, or the positive of transferable skills, is that you can take an opportunity that you may, or experience that you encountered as part of your degree, as part of societies that you've maybe been part of, and talk about how you have shown those skills, but in the context of the job that you're applying for. So that's one of the things that they do really, really value and look for. And there are a couple of articles that linked in the slide that go into a little bit more detail about some of the skills that are really highly valued by employers. So definitely have a look at those. The next thing is really that suitability for the role. Now, it sounds really simple, but it's worth going through that employers really only want to know that you're the right person for the position. And there's a couple of different ways that you can go through, you can evidence that within an application or an interview. So really work experience is a good starting point. So whether that's internships, placements, part-time jobs, etc., etc., being able to talk about the experience that you've had and how that shows that you are suitable for their position. The next thing is industry awareness. So showing your understanding of the sector that you're applying for a job within, maybe its challenges and its opportunities. So the research that you do around the job that you're applying for is really important. Have you done a little bit of research into the company to see what projects they're working on, what kind of things they offer? And how they fit into the wider context of the industry as well. The next thing is career readiness. So really being able to present your achievements efficiently in applications, CVs, and interviews. So what we mean by that is being able to show that you understand the link between your experiences in the past and how they will help you in the future in the job role that you're looking at. So that's another thing to bear in mind. And then finally, examples of initiative. So employers want to know that you are able to go above and beyond. So this is not just necessarily doing the bare minimum of a job role, but how do you show your initiative? And you can do that by maybe talking about times that you've taken part in things outside of your degree. So have you been part of a society committee? Have you maybe started a society? Or have you organised an event as part of some volunteering that you've done? So it's showing that willingness to go above and beyond what's expected of you. And these are often the things that make candidates stand out. Because the reality is that you will be competing with a lot of students that have also got degrees, and although they are very worthy in their own right because they bring lots and lots of skills and experience with them, you have to be able to show that wider experience and skill set that you've got. Okay, so finally, it's then thinking about those technical and digital skills that employers really highly value, sorry. So, talking about things like confidence using digital skills and technology. So think about all those tools that companies use on a day-to-day basis. Things like Excel, AI tools becoming increasingly more used by employers. So how can you show that you know how to use Excel? Could you do some short courses on LinkedIn to boost that skill set before you apply for things? So that's something that's highly valued. And linking to the last slide as well about using your initiative, also having that ability and willingness to learn new systems, because especially with technology and IT, that's moving so quickly. There's always new things being developed. So having that willingness to learn new things is really important. And then depending on your industry, employers will want some or a variety of different technical skills and experience. And that will really depend on what job you're applying for. So it's worth bearing that in mind as well. So if you're applying for a role as a data analyst, then it's thinking about what skill set do they require as part of that. And then I've mentioned LinkedIn Learning there, but there's also a link to that. So you also have access to a variety of thousands and thousands of courses through LinkedIn Learning, which the university sort of pay for your subscription for whilst you're a student. So definitely make the most of that. So if you're looking to develop your digital skills, or even technical skills as well to a certain extent, definitely go and check that out. So finally, to end with just some top tips. When you're applying for any job, you need to ask yourself if you've shown the employer the following things. Your skills, so what can you do? Your experience, what you've done so far, and your attitude and potential. So who you are and what you could achieve or become. And I think if you follow those three things when you're thinking about applying for a job or you're in the process of putting in an application, then you'll be in a really good position. If you would like some further support on figuring out exactly what applications maybe need to include when you're applying for roles, definitely get in touch through the means on the slide. There's lots of different ways that you can engage with the career service. I hope you found that helpful, and speak to you soon. Bye.